Welcome to our channel. In this session, we are going to discuss about an introduction to exception and exception handling mechanism. First of all, what is mean by exception? Simply, exception is an event that disrupts the normal flow of execution. The normal flow of program execution is disrupted. That is called an exception. That is called an exception. Now, what is mean by exception handling? Simple thing. The process which is used to handle the exceptions. The process which is used to handle the exception is called exception handling. What is the advantage of exception handling? Simple thing. The main advantage is to maintain the normal flow of the program. To maintain the normal flow of the program. That means avoid abnormal termination. So generally what happened, whenever an exception is generated, suppose if you are not handle the exception, immediately we are coming out of the program without executing the remaining part. Now I will show you what happened when you are not handle the exception. Now file, new project, select Java project. So exception handling 1. This is my project name. Within this project, first to check what happened. Within this one, new package. Package name is pack1. New class demo exception. Suppose the class name is demo without exception main class, simple program. Now within this class, see what I am doing. For example, int some c is equal to 10 by or else write like this: import java dot util dot scanner, create import, create one scanner class object. Scanner sc is equal to new scanner of system dot in. Now int a is equal to sc dot next int of, read the value of a. Int b is equal to sc dot next int of. Now do the division operation. C is equal to a by b. Print the value of C. System dot out dot println. Print the value of C, and then print some remaining program. System dot out dot println rest of the program. That is, this is only some place. This is only some place. You have some other logic is there. Now run this program and observe what happened. Whenever you are running this program, assume a value and b value are the proper values. Now Windows console, enter a value, suppose 20, b value sum to 20 by 2, the answer is 10. Okay, and then rest of the program executed successfully. Run one more time, enter a value 20, b value 0. 20 by 0, is it possible? No, division by 0, infinity. So press enter. See this one, we are getting one message: exception in thread main Java.lang.arithmetic exception divided by 0, and we are coming out of the program. Whenever if there is a problem at this place, even though the problem is at this position, but the remaining part of the program is also not executed. This is what happened when we are not handling the exception. Abnormally, we are terminating from the program. Okay, now you are getting some idea what is the need of exception handling. Next, you need to understand hierarchy of Java exception classes. Hierarchy. Now, what is the superclass? Anyway, everyone know. Object is the parent class or root class for all the classes. But coming to these exceptions, throwable. Remember, throwable is the superclass or root class for Java exception. This throwable have two subclasses. One class name is error. Second class name is exception. Throwable have two subclasses. One is error. Another one is exception. Okay. First of all, what is an error? Simple thing. Error is also an exception. But what is the difference? Error is simply the disturbance which occurred in the environment. The disturbance which occurred in the environment is called error. Is called error. So Java dot lang dot error. This is the class. This is the parent class for all the classes, sorry, parent class for all the errors that are generated in the environment. Remember, there is no concept of error handling. There is no concept of error handling. Now, what is an exception? Here also, this is the disturbance within the environment. Exception is simply the disturbance that is occurred in the application. Application in the sense your Java program. Application in the sense your Java program. Now, java.lang dot exception. Exception is the superclass for all the exceptions that are generated in the application. Now, this exception is again divided into two types. Again divided into two types. One is checked exception. Second one is unchecked exception. Checked exception and the second one is unchecked exception. What is mean by checked? The exceptions which are identified by the compiler. Identify the compiler at compilation stage. Understand? If the exceptions that are identified at the compilation stage, those are called checked exception. What are some examples? Class not found exception. Class not found exception. This is whenever the class is not available, it is not possible to compile. So class not found. Suppose interrupted exception. IO, input output. IO exception. SQL exception. Like this, these are some of the checked exceptions that are identified at compile time. Now, unchecked exception. What is mean by unchecked? Exactly. The exceptions that are not identified at compilation. The exceptions that are not identified at compilation stage. Anyway, then it will be raised at execution stage. Simply the exceptions that are identified at execution stage are called unchecked exception, Suppose arithmetic exception, array index out of bounds exception, null pointer exception, input mismatch exception. Simply for your understanding, I will show you diagrammatically. Assume this is your JDK. Now, the JDK mainly consists of compiler. So, this is the compiler. And assume this is JVM. This is Java okay, anyway written. This is Java compiler. This is JVM. First, what happened? You are writing some source code. Yes or no? Assume this is your program. The source code is entered into Java compiler. At this particular stage, if the compiler identify the errors, those are called checked exception. Suppose if there is no error or errors are handled, you are moving to this one. Now, what is this one? This is bytecode and move to execution. At this time, these are called unchecked exception. Anyway, you are getting some output. Now, this is the environment. Here, you are getting error. Here, you are getting error. You got the point? Within this environment. So, I think you know the errors. For example, we have to hear what are some possible errors? Stack overflow error, out of memory error, stack overflow out of memory error, virtual error. Like this, different errors are there. This is what is exception, what is the concept of exception handling, advantage. What happened if you are not using exception handling with one example program? This is the hierarchy of Java exception. In the next session, we will discuss what are different exception handling keywords and how to we handle the exception step by step. Thank you.